Hi, everybody. Coach Newman here at the Austin Tennis Academy. I'm often asked by parents and sometimes by players about the college process and how ATA handles the college process. One of the most important elements of the college process for us is college coach showcases. I really like the Tim Donavan showcases. He runs one on the West Coast in early January and one on the East Coast in late June. These two showcases have 100 to 150 college coaches at each of them and allows players to come and compete in front of college coaches. One of the cool things about the Donovan showcases is they make up player name tags, and the players wear their name tags on their back so that college coaches can identify who they are when they're playing on court. Super fun for the kids and very convenient for the college coaches. So these showcases allow players to highlight their skills and allow coaches to meet them and put a face to a name of maybe a player has written an email or a text to a coach introducing themselves so that the coach knows who they are. In fact, what ATA does is we prep our players by having them write an introductory email prior to the showcase. My name is, my tennis level is, my academic level is, so that the coaches have this information prior to the showcase and that the players have actually talked to coaches via text or email before they get to the showcase. Once they're at the showcase, players are competing, but a lot of times they are talking to coaches. A lot of this is D3 level coach, D3 level player, so there's not so much restriction on communication. And the goal for our players is for them to be the mayor of the showcase. I want players to go and introduce themselves to as many coaches as possible for a couple reasons. One, you never know which college you're going to end up going to. Two, you never know which coach might be at what college because coaches are always moving to different colleges. They're moving up in their careers. And so a coach that you talk to this year might be at a school that you don't really want to go to. But next year, they might be at a school that you really want to go to. So introducing yourself to them, letting them get to know you is very important because you never know where they're going to be in the future. So we have our players spend a lot of time talking to coaches, asking questions about their program, and getting to know them. So the showcase ends. When we come back from the showcase, we encourage our players to write thank you notes to all of the coaches that they spoke to. And then over the course of the next 6 to 12 months, our players are writing emails to those coaches, updating them on their tennis results, on their academic results, on anything that's interesting that's happening in their lives, basically just getting to know and keeping the coaches up to date with what they are doing. Lots of times the coaches are responding, sometimes they are not. Players then develop a list of 10 to 20 schools that they're communicating with over the course of the time during their junior year. And as that after junior year showcase starts in June, we're now trying to kind of narrow things down a little bit more. So at that June showcase, when you are a rising senior, you're hoping to maybe even get an offer from some schools at that showcase. And many times in the past, we've had players go through this process, go to showcases as sophomores and juniors, and the showcase before their senior year, they have had many interactions with coaches over the course of that 2-year period. They've narrowed their focus down to the 5 or 6 schools that they really would like to go to. And now they're just trying to see if it's a good fit, right? If their tennis level and academic level fit with what the coach's needs are. And that can vary from year to year. So players are actively narrowing down, and then they're communicating with coaches at the showcase. A lot of that can happen, especially at the high end of D3 level at National Clay Courts and at Kalamazoo as well. But those Donovan showcases really are the kind of key component to our recruiting process for players at that elite level of tennis and academics, which many of our students are. So as the kids finish that showcase before their junior year, if they didn't get an offer, they're going home and they're continuing to communicate with coaches, keep them updated, see them again maybe at national clay courts, see them again maybe at hard courts. Also, during that time period, I would say from the spring through the summer of their junior year and after their junior year, players are making visits to schools to see what the school is like. This is another thing that we really encourage our players to do. Um, many times, players have fallen in love with a campus, fallen in love with the professors that they meet, fallen in love with the coaches and the teammates that they interact with, and it has made their decision on the priority of their school. This is my first choice, my second choice, my third choice, my fourth choice. That prioritization before they visit the schools is basically a very academic uh, based priority list. It might be on uh, how good they perceive the school to be, what the acceptance rate is, for example, as one of the metrics that they could use. But once they go to the school, even if the acceptance rate of that school might be a little bit higher than some other schools, they just feel like they fit in and really like that opportunity. So oftentimes that's the deciding factor for many of our players in their college choice decision, right? What was the best feeling place for them? So that's pretty much the process for ATA players using the showcases to help them narrow down and pick a school. We've had a lot of success with kids in this process. Sent kids to Swarthmore this past year, Stevens Institute. We've sent kids to University of Chicago in the past, Claremont McKenna, many of the top D3 schools in the country. And that success, I think, is built on the relationships and the information that players gain at these showcases and these visits to schools. So that's the ATA way of college process and college showcases. I hope this is information that was valuable to you.